girl can cook. She got the recipe. She got what you need. That girl can cook. That black girl magic. I gotta have it.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today, you guys, we are about to braise some beef short ribs, honey, in all the glory and honor we could possibly give them. Okay, so look, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, grab your ingredients, and let's get started. All right, guys, so look, check this out. I was supposed to get 2 pounds, maybe 2 to 4 pounds of short ribs, but my Instacart order fooled me, honey. This is all I got here, but we're gonna tweak some things, okay? But I do have 1.5 pounds of beef short ribs, and I'm gonna season them up a little bit here. I added a little bit of olive oil, just 1 tablespoon, and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. If you think that's too much salt, your ribs gonna be bland, okay? This is a lot of meat, and we gotta season it and flavor it, all right? I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of coarse black pepper. That means it's bigger than the fine ground, okay? If you have the little grinder, you can use that as well. I'm also gonna add in 1 teaspoon of onion powder, as well as a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder. Now you guys, I'm not adding all those crazy seasonings in here because this is a recipe that uses a lot of fresh ingredients, and we're gonna respect that today, okay? So look, go ahead and coat your ribs. Make sure you get them nice and seasoned. You know, if you want to lay them out on a tray, you can, but make sure it's a piece of seasoning on every single surface, okay? All of that, all right? Now, once you get them seasoned, let's move them to the side. And now we're gonna get a heavy bottom Dutch oven or some type of skillet that can go from the top of your stove into the oven, okay? So I'm using my Dutch oven. Y'all know how it goes. And I'm gonna coat this with about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I have a little tip here. Always let your Dutch oven, you know, heat up before you add any oil to it. I promise you it helps out a lot. I'm also adding in a tablespoon of duck fat, which is optional because I'm extra, okay? If you don't want to add that in, you don't have to, but I did put some duck fat in there. And I'm going to sear all of these ribs until they are perfectly browned, okay? Now, we'll say that the front is going to take the longest sear, so that should go for about 3 to 5 minutes on the first side, all right? Or until it looks a little something like that. Ooh, look at that crust on that chair. All right, you're going to flip it to the back where the bone is. You want to get that a nice sear too. You don't want anything to look, you know, out of pocket now. And then we're going to sear the sides. The sides should only take maybe a minute, if that, probably 30 seconds, honey. You just want to get some color on it so we can lock in some flavor, child. Because you don't want your ribs to be gray. We don't want that. That would be bad. All right. So once you get them seared, we're going to go ahead, flip them on each side like we need to. And then we're going to take them out. You're going to take them out, put them in a clean bowl, set them aside because we don't need them for this next step right quick, okay? So look at that, y'all. Look at that. Just perfect. Perfection, all right? So reduce your heat from medium high to about medium low. You don't want to burn up your vegetables. We're going to put in what we call a mirepoix. Yes. All right, and basically what that is a vegetable base that consists of onions, celery, and carrots. You guys know this. All right, just like New Orleans has the Holy Trinity. Y'all know it's the same thing, except for we don't have bell peppers in it. But it's carrots, onions, and celery. I do have those measurements down in the description box. And guess what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna season my vegetables because I like layers of flavor. So I just added in a pinch of salt. If you want to use seasoned salt, Cajun season, whatever you want to do, honey, throw that in there. But I just used a pinch of salt. And here we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This is going to help us to form our base that we're going to be braising these ribs in, honey. All right. So get that combined with your veggies. Just get that mixed in. You're not trying to cook it down or anything. Just want to mix it in real good. And if you would like to, you could add a pinch of flour or cornstarch in here to help thicken if you want a thick gravy. But see, I'm not getting into that part. Okay. I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to do later. But look, once you get that in, add in 1½ cups of some good red wine. I like to use Cabernet, and I do not recommend that you use a dessert wine like Stella Rosa or Moscato. Yo, that's for drinking, not for cooking. All right, let's not put that in there. We're gonna use something like a Cabernet. I got that wine out of Target. All right, and we want to deglaze that pan. Just scrape the bottom of it real easy and kind of reduce it just for a few minutes, maybe not even a few, 1 minute or so. And once you get that in, we're going to add in 4 cups of good beef broth. If you have some good homemade quality beef broth, go for that too. But add in your beef broth. And guess what else I'm going to do? I'm going to season my beef broth with a little salt too. Because, honey, all the flavors on the meat. Okay? So we got to put some seasoning inside of the broth too. Y'all know how this goes. You can't just braise it in some bland liquid. We don't want that. So go ahead and add your ribs back into your liquid. All right. Now technically, well, hold on, I'll wait. We're going to put in our 3 sprigs of thyme. If you don't have fresh thyme, you can use about a teaspoon of dried thyme. I'm using 2 crushed cloves of garlic. I smashed them down so the flavor can release. I'm adding in 1 dried bay leaf and 1/4 teaspoon of crushed pepper. Now what I was going to say is, this is a lot of liquid for braising, but I like a lot of gravy. I'm a gravy girl, so I wanted to add some extra liquid. And also I added extra liquid because if I had about 8 ribs, this will be good for 8 ribs, okay? So look, we're going to cover this and we're going to put it in the oven at 375. We're going to cook it for about 2 hours or maybe up to an hour and a half, and this is what you're going to get at that point. Now the total cooking time is actually going to take you about 4 to 6 hours. It really depends on how big your ribs are and how tender you want them to be. But look, this is about after 1.5 hours of cooking. I'm throwing that sucker back in the oven, and I cooked it for an additional 2.5 hours, okay? Now look, check this out. This is after about roughly 3 to 4 hours, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Honey, now let me tell y'all this too. Ooh, if the bone ain't coming out, they ain't ready. If the meat ain't picking off, they ain't ready. All right. Now, if your oven is different from mine, which I know it is, it may take some time to adjust, and that's okay. Just cook them a little longer. You can't mess these up. All right. But look, that's it. That's all you have to do. And now we're going to go ahead and plate these up. And there you have it, guys. Our delicious, beautiful braised beef ribs. I mean, look at that sucker there. Look at that. A snapping turtle. I'm just playing. But no, look, y'all. I'm telling you, so delicious, so easy, so flavorful, so juicy. Yes, all of that. And I added some mashed potatoes and some green beans to go with it because why not? All right. And also for my gravy, you guys, all I did was strain the liquid. I did not add anything to it. I just strained the liquid from the vegetables and poured it on top. And y'all, this is it. A beautiful, delicious meal. All right. So look, I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for tuning into my channel. And if you try out this recipe, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time in the next video.